Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again thank you for stopping by. So this is a special one I've been looking forward to. We've now got the Tamiya Supreme Hornet ready to finish. So in this video it's about doing the body set and those decals, which right now I'm not looking forward to. I don't want to screw them up. Yeah, if you've not seen this car before, this is the third video in this series. Yeah, this was sent to me. This is a sponsored build from Pedals Bicycle RC Shop. Massive thank you and shout out to Jason. All his details will be in this video's description. I talked to Jason a lot, and he basically, I won't go through it all again, but he wanted to send me a kit to build on the channel, and he sent me this with the matching Supreme Tamiya radio gear, which is just insane. Yeah, it's just, for me, it's just such a great car to have in the collection. So yeah, super cool. So yeah, last video we did on it was the full chassis build, all the radio gear that comes with it. So it's ready to run. It ain't gonna run though. Yeah, just super cool. So as I said, in this video we got the driver to paint, whatever the box art is. There's a wing to cut out, there's a body shell to cut out, beautiful Hornet, and then, sorry for the noise, we have these decals to fit. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, fingers crossed on this one. I'm sure it'll be fine if I just do it in the order that Tamiya suggest. But it's a little bit like it's a one-time deal with this. I believe MCI do these decals, but they'll be nothing like the originals. So I really need to take my time and get this one right. But I'm really looking forward to, well, hopefully if I do a decentish job on it, I'm really looking forward to the end of this video where I've got it finished, the shells on, painted, decal, tyre writing done. I think I've dug out some green wheel nuts for it, which I think might look pretty cool. Driver painted. So there's a lot to do, even though it's just black. The body and wings just black. Freezing weather outside, so that's never great. But anyway, we'll get into it step by step. Let's do this. Right, that's the body and wing cut out. It's quite a straightforward one. I'll give it a light sanding. Trimmed it a little bit, but there's more work to be done, but I like to do that once I've got the paint on it so I can see what I'm doing properly. So yeah, I've just had a look at all the paints. The main body and wing is PS5, which is black. The driver is quite an odd one. It's saying TS14 for his helmet, which is gloss black, but then the rim of the helmet and the collar of the helmet is X18, which is semi-gloss black. That's just stupid. That's the same as the Blitzer Beetle. You just won't see it. So the helmet will be full black and obviously just flesh. His face in flesh. Spotlights as well are in X18, which is, I think it's gloss black, I said. Or no, it's semi-gloss black. So I think I've got that. So I'll have to do that on the spotlights. So yeah, it's just a case now getting it masked off, and then we'll get some paint on it. Right, that's the window mask on. It's always a little bit trickier on the Hornet. One side, that's just one piece, and then there's a back one. But it's 3 pieces on this side to go down where the aerial hole is. So yeah, you just kind of got to take your time with that one. But anyway, let's get some paint on this sucker. Right, that's the paint on. We'll let that dry. Try to get as much in the wing sides as possible. It's never the easiest. Still got a protective film on, obviously. So I'll let that harden, and then we'll take the protective film off and the window masks off, and all being well, we won't have any leakage. But I think I can see some. Right, that's the masking off and protective film. Nice and shiny. Bit of adhesive on the inside I need to clean, but yeah, it's nice and shiny. Oops, wing mounts, I didn't get enough paint in, but you can't see them once the spoiler's on. It'll be dark anyway, so I'm not going to put any extra paint on. Masking lines, reasonably okay. A little bit jagged that bottom one. Don't know if you can see it. You probably would better see it on the big screen. And wing, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Got the sides done. So yeah, that's all nice and shiny like it should be. So what's next? So we'll get some paint on the driver. I think that's the next port of call. Right, next update. So tyre writing is done in yellow, but it's a kind of dark yellow. But they look good. These are a nightmare tyre to do. If you go really closely, especially on the rears, it's not great. But because it's so small from a distance, like that, they look absolutely awesome. Fronts are better. So I'm liking that. That really sort of breaks the black up. Driver figures done. Again, not great. Silver suit, black seat belts, and full helmet black. Not going to bother doing eyes, because when I do eyes, oh my goodness me, it doesn't look good. And spotlights, black and white. Funny enough, I was looking, because on the box art, there's no sticker on the spots, which I always thought was weird. But on the sticker set, I think it's, what is it? Bright light, so I will be able to put spotlight decals on, which is kind of cool. Might have to revisit, and when these are properly dry afterwards, when the car's finished, just get some curved masking tape and go around them, because it's not the best. Right, so that's obviously all that done. So we could actually start decaling. Holy crap. I'm wondering, obviously, if there's only 3 decals on the wing, 2 sides, and then the big black Supreme to go on. So I might do that. I'm not going to mount the wing till the end, because it'll just get in the way when I'm sort of holding the body. But yeah, let's crack on with the decals. Wish me luck. Right, I've come back because things have changed. So I said earlier that I was just going to decal the wing and put that on afterwards. So I put the side decals on. Now, it gives you 2 choices for the big wing decal. You can either have it with a red background or a black background. So box art is black. So I decided, okay, I'll do that. So I didn't want all this in black, because it is a slightly different black as well. So I cut round a Supreme, which was awesome, so I thought. But then I realised before I put it on, the block colour blocks out the screw holes and the screw heads. So I thought, right, I've got to put that spoiler on before I put decal on. So of course, because I'd already cut the wing decal, the P covers the first screw hole. But what I've had to do, I've cut another little bit of black out, and just to cover that up. Now I'm looking at that on camera and it stands out a mile, but I can assure you in real life you don't honestly notice. I'm staring at it now, I'm about a foot away from it and I can't see it. So anyway, I'm happy that I've cut that Supreme out, and then I did the same with the wing decals, because it gives you the full wing side in black. So I just cut that out and got rid of that. Also, you can probably see I've got the driver in now with the Supreme decal on either side of his helmet. Again, because that screw hole's getting covered up with a decal as well. So the only thing I'm not putting on right now will be the, what do you call it, spotlights. But I'm just looking at the instructions now, decal wise. No, yeah, you don't need to do that. So that's good, although it's telling you to 20, no, sorry, so yeah, decal it up. So now it's time to cut the main decals out. Holy crap, I'm really not looking forward to this. So obviously you put all this on first, and then you go around it afterwards and put the sort of standard Hornet ones on as and where required. So yeah, I'll cut these out. I'm just looking at the instructions. Decal 1 was the wing. What's decal? So you actually start up on number 2, which is the roof decal. So I'm just going to follow the numbers step by step. So I'll get the first one on because I'm curious to see what it looks like against a black sort of background. Right, that's the first 2 flame decals on. Not a fan at all. God, is that lifting? Yeah, so if you know, obviously the Hornet, there's a a dome on the roof. Sorry, let me check something. It's very deceiving. It looks like things are lifting, and they're actually not. Sorry, I will come back on. Yeah, I've just finished this, so I've not quite. That looks like it's lifting from here. This is great viewing, isn't it, my friends? Just bear with me a second, or I'll just show you it and then I'll have a look. So yeah, you got your main roof one, which you cut the oval out, and then there's an oval decal that goes over the top. Not great at all. Don't get me wrong, from a distance, like I'm looking at them a foot away from it, looks great, and I think there's a couple of other decals to go on, which will break. It's one of those things where I'm being a bit nitpicky. And once the car's finished, even with the little blemishes and tiny mistakes, it's your eye's not going to be drawn to it. But I need to do a little bit of work on that. So yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll cut the rest of the decals out of the flame ones, because I just want to get them out of the way. Right, that's another, how many? Two decals on. Oh, as you can imagine, this is not much fun. It's a jigsaw, and you're asking decals to wrap around really tight corners. But anyway, again, so we've got the sides on this time, which wrap round. Oh, there is another decal which went on the inside there. But you get the idea. I like the contrast. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but the decals against the black is pretty special, to be honest. Right, let's do more. Well, my friends, I don't mind telling you, these decals have got me beat. I've kind of given up and just done the best I can. Don't get me wrong, I think when it's finished, the other decals are on, it'll look acceptable. But right now, there's lines everywhere. That's so difficult. I followed Tamiya's numbers, and yeah, it's just, I'm not going to make excuses. I've done a poor job of it. As I say, I think when all the other decals are on, which is not that many, but when the sort of Hornet decals are on, it'll sort of take your eyes off of the lines and stuff. But yeah, that was zero fun, to be honest. And it's not, don't in the comments guys, use a soapy water technique. It's nothing to do with that. It's about starting at the exact right point with the very first decal, which I thought I did. But obviously I didn't. You know, I even got to this one where you've got your vent lines, so you can't go wrong with that decal, although that's not the first one. And that, by the time I put this on, these were out, this was off. Anyway, you know what I mean? I'm not going to beat myself up. It's got some black lines on it that it shouldn't have, but it is looking pretty good. Right, let's finish it off. Right, that's all the decals on, so that's 100% box art. There's a load more decals that could go on, but obviously I'll just leave it box art. It's an eyeful. Right, what I'm going to do now is going to mount the spotlights, put the decals on the spotlights, which isn't box art, but it'll look better, and then we'll get them on the car. Right, spotlights on. I'm not too sure why box art doesn't have decals on. They're just left white. I mean, it's fine, don't get me wrong, it just seems odd, especially with decals in the kit. Anyway, I like them with the decals on. So yeah, let's put it all together. Right, that's the wheels on. I've gone for some sexy, like reddish wheel nuts, which I think looks pretty cool. I love the look of the Hornet with the black wheels. In the last video when I built it, before the tyre rating and all that, I just put it on the wheels and I was like, that looks really cool. I suppose it's just because we're that used to seeing the white wheels, I guess. But yeah, that looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Right, moment of truth. Let's see the car finished. And that, my friends, is that finished. It's definitely an eyeful, isn't it? Yeah, definitely an eyeful. It's funny, I never realised like the flame decals on this side, they obviously stop here and then it's all black. But on the other side it goes, I kind of thought it was like that on both sides. kind of would have been better, I think. I don't know, it's just, I mean, again, it's the first time I've even thought about it, but, you know, if both sides were like that, no worries, but I just think, given how it looks on this side, it just looks slightly better. Yeah, you have to leave in the comments what you think. It's definitely different, isn't it? Very, very cool though for me to have this in my collection, I've got to be honest. Extremely cool. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of... I'm a fan of how it looks now I've seen it. This is the first one I've ever seen. And yeah, it looks cool, but I'm just not a fan of those decals, like a jigsaw puzzle. And she's done. And that was tough. I really struggled, and I don't mind saying, I found the decals very, very difficult. It's funny, I was kind of, before I made this outro, I was kind of thinking what I would do different if I did it again. And I honestly don't know. I think, I don't want to say Tamiya got it wrong. And I'm not making any excuses, I balls this up. But it's like that decal there that runs down there. I think it's nigh on impossible to butt decals up together without any overlapping. That's my personal take on it. I don't think that's possible. So there's a tiny bit, even though, you know, if it's 1/2 mil, just to fill in the gaps. But on that particular side, because the main decal goes on first and then the wing or the fender, whatever you call it, decal goes on after it, the crease is to the top. Now obviously light shines from above, so you see the crease. Had that been, so instead of like that, had it been like that, you wouldn't have seen the crease as much. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough, very tough. Can't really think of another car. I mean, yeah, I've done lots of different cars with difficult decals. But yeah, this one was a jigsaw puzzle, and yeah, I found it very difficult. But with all that said, I'm absolutely over the moon with it. I know it's got its critics, and this is the first one I've ever seen in real life. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it is a real eyeful. The decals are amazing. I never really thought about what the decals were, but it's an actual picture of flames. Never really thought about that. But when all the decals are together and kind of almost lining up, it looks well. It looks really well. So yeah, I've got to be honest, this car was never on my radar. And Jason, if you're watching, I hope you are, my friend. I, hand on heart, honestly can't thank you enough for this donation to my collection. I loved building a Hornet again, because I thought I'd never build a Hornet again. I've built that many of them. And then to put this one together and that, I just loved it. And then to have this finished, obviously, with the pristine box and the matching Supreme radio gear, just makes it off the chart. And it won't run. I've got no reason to run it. If I want to run it, I'll run my Riri Hornet. Not that it's any different, but this needs to stay mint in my collection. Yeah, never thought I'd have a Supreme Hornet in my collection. That's nuts. So, my friends, I don't know how long this video's been. I try to make it as short as possible. But please check out Jason Pedals RC Shop. All the details will be in this video's description. And he's a fantastic gentleman. And as you know, super generous. And we're just trying to get, or help him get his kind of newish RC shop up and running, which would be absolutely awesome. There'll be a contact email and whatever. All the information I've got for him will be in there. Right, I'll shut up, and we'll figure a place to put. I need a place. In fact, I need a new cabinet. I need 2 new cabinets. This is actually going to go on the floor next to the Blitzen Beetle. Can I say the other 2 on this channel? Because they're not Tamiya. I won't say it. People get knocked. Anyway, as always, my friends, thanks so much for watching, and happy RCing.